you're earning the stated amount and you're looking for somewhere to go, um, somewhere to live apart from maybe your home country, Malta is actually not bad. But yeah,
Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk about studying abroad and what it is like to live in another country. And today we're actually doing something different. I know most of the time I mostly talk about studying abroad, but today we are doing something a little bit different. I'll be talking about what it is like to live as a digital nomad in Malta. And I have a YouTuber here. Her name is Toyo, and I'm just going to give her an opportunity to introduce herself. But before then, I want to say, like, if you're not interested in this process, we also did like a study in Malta one, so you can go ahead and watch that video as well. I'm just going to link it up on the screen. But yes, I'm just going to pass it over to Toyo to introduce herself to us.
yes. Hi everyone. My name is Toyo John, and I am a digital nomad, a YouTuber, a writer, a social media manager as well in Malta. So I live in Malta and I work remotely. So that's basically what the visa is all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to say, like, can you explain what a digital nomad visa is?
Nomad.
Because
Yeah.
when you told me I needed to go and like check it on Google, I'm like, which one is digital nomad visa again?
Yeah, I mean, apparently a lot of people didn't know about a lot about this, this visa. But so basically you are a digital nomad if you work remotely. So you work from home, work from where you are. You're not necessarily going to a physical location,
Mhm.
for work. Yeah.
So where you are working remotely, like must the organization be in Malta, or you could work in another country but just choose to stay in Malta?
The organization actually cannot be in Malta. Like
Okay.
that is part of their requirements.
Okay.
As a digital nomad in Malta, like applying for that visa, for that permit, you are basically, so what I'm even reading from their website, right? So it enables you to retain your current employment in
Mm.
another country while you are legally residing in Malta.
Wow.
So actually, you can't work with that visa, you
Mm.
can't work in Malta.
You can only live in Malta.
You can only live in Malta.
Okay.
So I can't work here. I believe if I want to, or if I get an employment opportunity, a job opportunity, I will have to convert my visa or my permit into a work visa. And
Okay.
I'm not using that for now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. So then what made you choose Malta as your base for remote work? Because I mean, you could have been anywhere. What made you choose
Yeah,
Malta? Like, this is where I want to be.
absolutely. Yeah, that's so true. So the thing is, I think I told you when we were doing the other video for school. Actually, we used to live in Cyprus, so we
Mhm.
weren't in Nigeria at the time. So when I finished my master's, my husband and I were like, okay, we need to look for another place because where we were was actually predominantly for students,
Okay.
right? Was a student environment. Yeah, people are getting jobs here and there, but and also I wasn't satisfied with the living conditions
Mhm.
there. So we decided to do our research and we found different, like, because my husband is also a developer, so he works remotely as
Okay.
well. So two of us work remotely. So we were looking for a place that would actually fit our lifestyle
Mhm.
and the kind of job that we're doing.
Mhm.
And so we did some research. We saw a couple of countries, but Malta was actually number one because of the language. And it might seem somehow because I know people that don't mind actually living in countries or living in a country where how do I put it? You don't mind living in a country where they speak language.
Mhm.
Don't mind learning and all that. But we were just tired. I mean, we're tired of hearing language. We
Yeah.
wanted to hear English again. Yeah, so we checked that out and we're like, okay. Malta speaks. So Malta, they speak English and Maltese,
Okay.
right? But everyone speaks English.
Okay.
So that was good for us. And also, the application process wasn't as tedious and wasn't as long as some other countries.
Mhm.
The requirements as well were not, it wasn't as much as the other requirements for other countries that we saw.
Okay.
And then the weather as well is very pleasant.
Yeah.
So say we have 300 days of sun, and yes, we're in winter right now, but it's definitely not as cold as other countries like in Europe and other parts of the world. So yeah, it was a good one.
When you're applying for a digital nomad visa, do they allow dependents? Like, for instance, can the husband apply and the wife be the
Yes,
dependent, or can the wife apply and the husband be the dependent?
absolutely. So that's how I got here in the
Okay.
first place. So my husband is the main applicant
Okay.
and I am the dependent. So they allow for, we're saying for students, they don't allow dependents,
Yeah.
but for the digital nomad visa, dependents are allowed to come. So
Okay.
my husband was the main applicant and I just I just tagged along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, another question is, can somebody that has like a remote offer in like Nigeria work? Like, can the person like get a digital nomad visa in Malta, or is there like specific countries that your remote work has to be based? Or like probably if somebody has like a remote job in the US, in Canada, or in Nigeria, or must it be specifically to European countries?
Oh, nah, absolutely not. So wherever you are, as long as it's not in Malta,
Okay. So
as long
whatever,
as the office, the company, the business is not in Malta,
yeah,
you
good.
can absolutely, yes, you're good to go. Like you can absolutely apply. But of course there are requirements, but I guess we'll get to that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, I think now talking about the requirements, I have something like, can you walk us through the process of applying for a digital nomad visa and also talk a little bit about the requirements?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'll start with requirements.
Mhm.
So on their website, first of all, they have all these details there.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll even send you the link.
Okay.
They have all the details, they have the checklist and the eligibility criteria. So the first one is, of course, you have to be working remotely.
Mm-hmm.
The second is there is a salary expectation
Okay.
in per year.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe right now, I think when we started even, it was maybe 30 something thousand per year.
Okay.
Right now it's 42,000 euros.
Okay.
I hope I'm correct. I'm there, Sha. I
Okay.
think for 2,000 euros, yeah. Um, for the main applicant, like the main applicant has to be earning for 2,000 euros per year. And
Okay.
then with every dependent, I believe it's 300 euros more.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so that is you need that, and then of course your employment contract, of course your international passport,
Mhm.
um a bank statement as well, a bank statement of like three 3 months, three
Okay.
to 6 months, yeah, to show that you're actually earning that amount of money, yeah, and that you've been working, and then your employment contract, you've been to show that yes, you are in this company and you have been working for this amount of time
Mhm.
and you are permitted to work remotely.
It's like the process like for applying for the visa.
All right, so the process, so first of all, we after doing our research and everything, so we messaged them, we
Okay.
sent them an email, and they asked us for those particular those documents that I
Mhm.
sent, that I just mentioned to you. Yeah, so you submit those documents, but for the application, like to apply in the first place, you're paying 300 euros. That's the application fee. Yeah, the application fee is 300 euros per applicant.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so with that application fee, you're sending all those details, your bank statement, your employment letter, your international passport. I think they ask for all the pages of your international passport.
Okay.
Um, What else? Yeah, all those things, Sha, that I mentioned. You send it to them and then you also pay for the application fee. Now, once that happens, they take 60 working days
To
to get back to you on their decision.
okay.
So once you send that, that doesn't automatically mean that you've gotten it. You still have to wait for the 60 working days, and then they're going to do their background checks,
Mm-hmm.
do everything they need to do, right? And then within that period, they should get back to you on their decision. Okay, your application has been approved
Mm-hmm.
or rejected.
Okay.
And then I believe that once it's rejected, you can't apply, you can only apply 1 year after
Oh, okay.
a rejection. Yeah. Yeah. So they do that. And then once they send you their decision, so if it's approved, you go ahead, you go ahead to send them your house contracts
Okay.
or accommodation contract and then health insurance. So your health insurance has to be for 1 year
Okay.
for so yeah, all the things you're sending is for you and the
Yeah.
applicant. Yeah, you
And
and
your
your spouse, or
okay.
you, your spouse, your children,
Okay.
you know. I have friends that are here with their wives and their children, and yeah. So yeah, what else? Yeah, so you send once they approve all those things, you send it to them. And
Mm-hmm.
once they send it to them, they send you your final approval
Okay.
once everything is accepted. So for someone new coming into the country, you wouldn't necessarily have a full house contract of 1 year because you've
Yeah.
not even been to the place, right? But you can actually send them your temporary accommodation. So
Okay.
that's maybe your Airbnb, your hotel
Okay.
where you're going to stay while they are processing your card and everything. Yeah,
Okay.
so you send that, you send them your health insurance, and I think you send them your flight reservation
Itinerary.
itinerary. Yes. And then once that is approved, to send you a final approval, then you now start the visa process. So all this one is
Oh, all those
for
ones are not visa process.
they're no visa process. They are accepting you as a digital nomad. This is all your application.
Okay.
Now, after you get your final approval, it now moves on to the visa process.
Okay.
And so your visa process is another 300 euros.
Really? After aside from the one you paid for the
Application fee for digital nomad is different from
visa process.
Schengen.
Oh,
Yes, it's different
okay.
from your Schengen visa. Yeah, so I think it's 300 euros, or maybe it's a little bit less than that if you.
Visa process, is it everyone that is paying for this one now? Like, did you have to
Yes,
pay as well, even though you're a dependent?
yes,
You also had to
yes,
pay.
everyone pays.
Okay.
So now this particular visa is the Schengen visa.
Okay.
Yeah, Schengen. Oh yeah, one of the things I didn't mention about Malta was also like being a resident, you have access to
Schengen
the rest
country.
of Europe, or yeah, the Schengen countries. So yeah, that was also one of the reasons why we accepted or we decided to come here. Yeah, so they start that, and I think that takes another a couple of weeks, like 5 weeks or something for. So once everything is approved, your visa and everything, then they ask for your passport. That is as a new applicant, right? Yeah, they ask for your passport, you send it over to them, and then they put the stamp on it. Sometimes when you apply for the Schengen visa, like after paying the 300 and you send your passport, sometimes your passport will come back to you empty.
Why?
They didn't accept, they didn't give you visa.
But they already gave the application that, like, does that make sense? Like, the for the application, they already passed you. So why do you think after all the stress, Schengen will still say no?
Because they are individual bodies
Yeah. Okay.
that are in charge of doing their background checks. Are you really a digital nomad? And all that. Okay, we accept you to come and live here. Oh yeah, now collect your visa.
And
You
come.
get
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
yeah, so yeah, it happens like that. I know it's somehow, but
It's a very long
that's
process.
it is a long process, but it's not as long as some other countries in the same Europe.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that takes about how many weeks, like 5 weeks or something, and then
Mhm.
get your passport back, hopefully with your stamp, and then you can come to Malta. So when you come to Malta, that's when you now start. You go to the office,
Mhm.
you know, wrap up with the process, do your biometrics,
Mhm.
and then they now give you a residency card. Now, for digital nomads, the residency card, I think also for students, residency card is for 1 year.
Okay.
But specifically for digital nomad, the just last year, early last year, they extended the amount of years that you can stay in Malta to 4 years.
Okay.
So right now we can stay in Malta for 4 years as a digital nomad.
Okay.
It used to be 3 years.
Okay.
They extended it to 4 years. But you have to apply every year. You
Okay.
still have to apply every year because, for example, some people, if you maybe you lose a job, um, one or two things you don't have. If you don't have that
Yeah.
job right now, you're not earning that amount. You don't qualify as a
So,
digital nomad because you might not be earning the amount they ask you to earn or they expect you to earn. Yeah, that kind of thing. So there are different, you know, things that could affect a renewal. Yeah.
so okay, I have another question. If somebody is a dependent of a digital nomad visa,
Yeah.
like for instance, like maybe my husband is like the digital nomad, has like an
Mhm.
online job, and I'm the dependent. Can I work in Malta as a dependent?
No.
So I also can work in Malta. Okay.
No.
My question
So
now, how then does Malta gain from all of this? Do you pay tithes to, I'm sorry, I say tithes. Do you pay tax to them? Like, how do they benefit from it?
they're benefiting a lot.
Okay.
They're benefiting a lot. So, of course, you're living in their country, you're paying rent, you're paying rent, you're paying bills, you're spending in the country. So, they actually earn a lot. And they have a reason why, obviously, they said, okay, only people that are earning from 42,000 euros and above. So you know that they expect that okay, people that can spend money to a certain extent,
Mhm.
those are the people that we are accepting with this kind of visa. So truly, we don't pay taxes. For the first year, you don't pay taxes.
In
After
Malta.
yes, in Malta as a digital nomad.
Okay.
After your first year, I think in the second year, then you start paying taxes. And the taxes are, I think, 10%.
Okay. Oh, that's
10.
it. Tight. That's literally tight. Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, so you don't pay taxes, but they're getting a lot now. You know what it means to have family, and
It's
it's not as if. Oh, one thing I have to say also is you it's not a route to permanent residence. The digital nomad visa is not a route to permanent residence. I believe the work visa is, but digital nomad is not. So you're
okay.
here for 4 years. If you transition to a worker, maybe,
Mhm.
or I don't know, investment or property, there are other ways that people get their stay here. But digital nomad is not one of them.
Okay,
The
that's
other countries, yeah, there are other countries apparently like Portugal and Spain and some other countries where as a digital nomad, if you bring your dependents can work,
mhm.
that then there are other benefits. There
Okay.
are other benefits as well. But um we don't have that opportunity like that here. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Um, so what are like the best areas to live in Malta?
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay. Best areas to live in as a nomad. Me, I'm going to always be for the central area. So I live in the central area. And I say that because it's close to a lot of other places. So it's close to the capital city. So there's Valletta, there's Sliema, there's Mcida, there's St. Julian's, there's Zira. And, these places are close to, you might find a lot of tourists. Accommodation is more expensive than the places that are further away. But especially if you're coming here to live as a digital nomad, you're looking for some sort of work-life balance. You're not just going to be inside. You need some I don't know, some fun, some activities, some exposure, yeah. And so yeah, I would always agree to stay in the central area.
Also, how is transportation like in Malta? Like, is transportation accessible or is it like, oh, you have to get your car to survive?
Oh my gosh, I would actually advise not to get it. Okay, you know what? for families, I feel like families need cars, especially if you're with children that are going to school, and you might need a car. But Malta has a lot of cars right now, and it's a small island. So
Okay.
sometimes places are congested, there's parking issues
Oh,
and all that. Yeah, but for transportation, there's boats, there's Uber, there's e-cabs, and then the bus is free. So
oh,
there's public transport. We don't have trains here because it's such a small island. Like if you check the map, you have to zoom in to see
really?
water. But yeah, but so it's such a small country, but we have buses and we have ferries.
Okay.
So if you want to go from one point to the other, the ferry is also free if you have the card. So there's a bus card that everyone applies for, and then buses are free.
Okay.
It's just that sometimes, because Malta is also a tourist destination, lots of people come here for holiday, for weddings, for all sorts of things. So usually in the summer period, it's very crowded, very congested. So transportation might be a bit of a headache. You're
Okay.
trying to get somewhere with the bus, and the bus is full, and I guess because it's free, so everyone uses it.
What are some challenges that you think digital nomad might face?
Hmm. Okay. I think one of the challenges, or I don't know if it's a challenge, but there was a time I wished that I was able to work in Malta.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I feel like that thing still comes up here and there
Hmm.
because I don't always want to have to work in the house, work from home. I want to be able to go out, work with people, build a connection, communication with other people, team building, those kind of things.
Yeah.
I actually look forward to that. But of course, working remotely, you might not necessarily have that,
Yeah.
opportunity, and then just staying in the house always.
I'm going to ask about like the Schengen visa process. So like the way you are in Malta now, if for instance you're like, oh, for the summer I want to travel to Spain because it's like a
Yeah,
Schengen, right? Is there like anything you need to do, or you can just pack your bag and say, okay, I'm going to Spain?
just pack your bags. Just pack your bag. Just book your flight, book your accommodation
And you
there,
don't need to do
and
anything.
then no,
Like,
they don't even go through passport
oh,
um control
okay.
because Schengen, the whole Europe is like one country, sort of. That's
Yeah,
how
that's what
they.
I heard, and that's so annoying because like I feel like the US is so big, but my friends in Europe, like they are just traveling everywhere. And advice would you give to anyone that is considering the digital nomad process in Malta?
Mm, um, I think you should go for it because I actually love this place so much. In fact, I'm almost attached. Yeah, I really like Malta. It has opened some opportunities for me, even with my work. And then of course I appreciate the fact that my husband and I, we got to build or we got to join a community of other digital nomads. So it's not lonely. It's not like I just you. In as much as I was saying, oh, I would like to work, go to work somewhere. But we actually have a community here of other nomads. We have friends here with the same visa. Um, it's a lovely country. The weather, I think the Maltese people are also really nice. Yeah, the weather is a bit pleasant. You're earning the stated amount and you're looking for somewhere to go. You're looking for um, somewhere to live apart from maybe your home country. Malta is actually not bad, but
Something else, like, and kind of like the final question is, are there Nigerians in Malta? Because I feel like for us Nigerians, we always want to like gravitate towards a place that has a little bit of community. So are there like
yeah.
Nigerians?
Absolutely. Yeah, just like I was saying, we have a whole community of Nigerian nomads in Malta. I believe even for the students as well, there's Nigerian society and all that. But yeah, one thing that was very interesting for us was that there's lots of Nigerian or African markets here. So
Oh,
like even around our house, there's like three different places that you can go and get. Yeah, so there's access to Nigerian food stuff. Yeah, and then there's just a whole community, and then we have hangouts and meetings here and there. So yeah, there's absolutely a Nigerian community here.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate it. If
you.
you have any question, also I'm going to link her YouTube channel in the description box. That's what she talks about on her
Yeah.
YouTube. So feel free to go to her.
Yeah. So if anyone has any questions here, even on your channel, I'll be checking the
Comment.
comments and then I'll reply as
Okay,
much
yeah.
as I can.
Yeah. Okay, so
Thank
yeah,
you so
that's
much
it.
for having
Thank
me.
you so much. If you watch the video to this particular point, you know how we do. Just say thank you, Toyo, in the comment section. If you have any question, like she said, she'll be
You're
checking to see
welcome.
if you have any
Yes.
questions. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.